guys, it's Kelly. I am back with another layout. This is for Coco Daisy and it is using their November kit called Sprinkles, and it also uses their paper add-on and the Day in the Life add-on. So I'm going to talk briefly about what I'm doing with the layout, and then I want to go into something else that I have read on some message boards. So with the kit is very themed with donuts and cupcakes and cakes and treats and things like that, and coffee. I wanted to do a couple of layouts that adhered to the theme, and then I wanted to do a couple that did not. So this is one of the two layouts that I did that followed the theme. And when you're first looking at it, you're thinking, it's a picture of you at a pool. And it's a story that I want to tell though. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling out some things that I think are going to really make the story what I want it to be. Now, I've read on some message boards how people have not documented some of their stories because they don't have photos to go along with the story, or they don't have particular, pattern papers or embellishments. And my challenge to you is to, especially if it's a photo that is holding you up, it is to document the story. This layout turned out to be one of my favorites, and it's because the story that I have had, rolling around in the back of my mind that needed to be told is finally down on paper. So let me go back to what I'm doing with the layout real quick, and then I'll come back to the story. So I wanted to be able to see that sprinkle paper because, donuts, sprinkles, I like the polka dot, I like the colors. So I'm just playing with my papers to figure out where I wanted them, where I could see the most of the pattern and just what visually looked pleasing to me. And this right here is pretty much going to be how my layers end up, with just a couple of things, minor adjustments. So let me tell you about the story. This is a story that I have that I do not have a particular photo that goes with. I don't even know exactly how old I was when the story took place. And the story is, I grew up basically living at a pool in the summers. And I was on the swim team. I would go in the morning at, I would be dropped off at like 7:30. We had swim practice from 8 to 10. I would wait until the pool opened at 11. I would stay all day. I'd have swim practice again from 5 to 6, and then I'd go home. That was like my summer for several years. And I had several friends that did the same thing. And we were on the swim team together, and one of the rites of passage of swim team was the day after a meet, we would all have a fun practice and play around, and there would be donuts. This one practice, there really wasn't a lot of people there, and there were a ton of donuts. So what are some kids going to do? They are going to challenge themselves to see who can eat the most donuts. And that little tag that I have at the right hand, bottom of the right hand, I can't speak. The little tag that's Dear Lizzie that has 11 on it, that would be the number of donuts that we tied at eating. Yes, that is like sickening, isn't it? I don't know how old I was when it happened. I just know about. So I'm going to get the story down. I'm going to put circa 1984, 85, something like that, because it doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that I got this funny story down. And I've got a layout, my kids can look at it, we can laugh about it, and I love that. That to me is what scrapbooking is about. It also is about playing with pretty things, but when you can get a story down that really needs to be down, it just makes you feel so great. So at this point, I'm going through the kit to find what else I can add to the page that's really going to make an impact for my story. And what I'm cutting apart right now are actual stickers in the kit. They just had not arrived in time, so the design team is using them as cutouts, but in the actual kit, they are stickers. So I'm just placing things around the page. I decided that I wanted to bring in a pop of that royal blue, and I thought that that would look good for a couple of reasons. Number one, the photo has a lot of blue in it. And the second thing is I really wanted to use that little cut apart that said yum because, you know, obviously the donuts had to be good if I ate 11 of them. And I just thought that that would be cute in a cluster. And because I brought out that, I wanted to have the blue a couple of other places. So cameras are always one of my favorite things to do and to fussy cut. And so I originally wanted to use this camera that I'm cutting right now. And the reason that I wanted to use this one because it had a little bit of that aqua in it in the center of the lens. And I wanted to bring my aqua around the page. It's, you know, on that tag and it's on the donut in the top cluster, but it really just blended into the page. So rather than, you know, try to make something work, I'm just cutting out the next best thing. And that is the darker camera that when you look on the page, it really stands out. So I have a lot of paper layers and it's a lot of busyness. And so one of the things that I like to do, especially when the patterns are a little bit more fun and whimsical, is outline. So I'm just outlining around the papers, and for whatever reason, I just did once today. Usually I outline twice. I guess I was just happy with the way it looked and didn't feel the need to do it a second time. But usually I do a second line. And that's just so that I can cover up any of my mistakes. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of the layers outlined, and I'm even going to outline this busy donut paper. I didn't know how much of an impact it would have, and it turned out to have, for me, one of the largest impacts. It really just helped to stop that pattern in its place. So these papers to me are just so fun. I had a blast making this page. I think because of the story, and you know, it's nice when you have papers and embellishments that really fit your story. So this is actually an original photo, and I thought for just a hot second to trim it up, and then I thought, you know what, nope, I have not made a copy of it yet. I'm actually not even going to adhere it down on this layout. I'm going to take pictures of it, and I went back and scanned the photo and then reprinted it and then stuck that picture down. I don't want to actually adhere an original if I don't have to. So that is why you will never see me actually adhere this photo down. So I am loving the way that it's coming together. This just was such a fun layout for me to make. And I'm going to go ahead and get things stuck down. And this is where I potentially make a huge boo-boo, but this just shows you how nice these letters are. These are letter stickers from Evalicious that are included in the kit. And I just got December's kit, and they have more of them in different colors. I am so excited. They are my absolute favorite. I love them because they are a great font. They're very legible. They have a little bit of white outlining on the outside that makes them look good. But this is another reason why I really like them. I put my title down backwards, so I just was able to easily lift the letters up and move them around. I didn't tear the back of the page. I didn't tear a letter. I just had a little bit of trouble moving that one, and that was it. They are great. I cannot say enough good things about these letter stickers. And, you know, I'm not sure if I said before I moved them, they have a ton of letter stickers on the sheet. So you really can make a big, long title and still have letters, enough letters to make another title. And to me, when I can get a lot of use out of something like that, that really just is perfect. It makes my day. So I'm really loving the way that the title is coming together, and off camera what I am going to do is go ahead and stitch through all of the words of the title, and it's going to be in just straight lines, and I do this for a couple of reasons. First, the letters seem to be stuck down very well, even though I just moved them. But you know how sometimes if you've moved a letter and you've messed up with the adhesive a little bit, sometimes they'll start, curling and rolling off. I wanted to make sure that if they did, they wouldn't lose their position on the page. So I went ahead and I stitched through that, and I did the yellow as well. And the end result of that I loved, and I felt like it made the title read as, the one big title like it, is. And it just helped to tie in the different fonts as well. So at this point, I'm just working on finishing up my little clusters. I switched out that little yellow tag. It was actually red originally, but I found the yellow, and I liked that better because it brought the yellow in the title over to that side of the page as well. And I'm looking back at this wondering why on earth I have not actually stuck down that layer, and because it keeps moving, and that usually drives me nuts. So I'm not sure. Maybe it was the fact that I had decided I was going to go ahead and stitch the title down. There's my little kitty Juliet making an appearance. She's actually sitting beside me now as I'm doing the voiceover. So this ribbon is included in the kit. It is beautiful. It's like a pink kind of champagne color, and it's ombre as well, so the color just changes as the ribbon goes along. It is gorgeous, and I just love the fact that it was included in the kit because I felt like it was the perfect little thing to tie off this Dear Lizzie tag. So the other thing that I put on the Dear Lizzie tag was the puffy sticker, and it's a donut, of course, because it fits the theme so perfect. So at this point, I had been thinking what I was going to do with my journaling. I originally chose the pattern paper with the lines because that's where I was going to journal. It's so nice to have a pattern paper that already has your lines out for you, so that when you go to journal, you don't have to worry about it going, downhill or uphill, and they're evenly spaced. But because the journaling was so much, I had so much that I wanted to say with it, I do type it and just cut the thin word strips, and those work out great. I was very happy with the way that it turned out. So that little circle I just put up on a pop dot. I just like the addition of a little bit of, I guess, different thicknesses on my layout. It just brings a little bit more visual interest to the page. And I'm just going to use my quick dry adhesive. I know that they have changed the name of that. If you were looking for it, it's by Scotch. It's a big bottle. It has it's red and white, and it just works well, I think, for a wet glue, especially when you can control the amount in the fine line bottle. So it's one of my favorite adhesives to use. So that's pretty much it for me. I have some close-ups at the end. And again, I want to encourage you to get those stories down. I know that I'm not the only one that has a funny story that did not have a photo that needed to be told. So if you do so, please link to me or tag me or send me a message. I'd love to see it. This, to me, is what scrapping is all about. So thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.